Oh, Wind Ranger.
And if they even will have to, it might just be a Wind Ranger mid.
Yep.
After all, it is picked up by Pycat. He generally plays it mid. He can play it safe lane, of course, as well. I would be surprised if he's in the off lane. They generally prioritize farming the Wind Ranger and going for the fast Aghanims rush after phase boots and then into Crystallis. So, I don't know.
Who are you
think
favoring
it's a really good point. I'm favoring Alliance because they have everything to win. Like, I'm favoring them not from a draft standpoint, but from a mentality and tournament standpoint. If you look at the drafts in isolation, I don't feel like either team has a serious advantage.
Ben, do you agree?
I don't know. The Spirit Breaker and the Alchemist kind of seem a little bit out of place. I don't think they have enough of a dominant mid laner. Like, you want like a Queen of Pain or like a Magnus. Those are probably the best ones that we see in the mid lane to try and control it because they have a lot of AoE bursts. They can kill the Wisp, and they do well versus heroes that are clumped up. The Alchemist, like the AoE on Unstable Concoction is tiny, and then he has to farm a lot if they want to put him in. I'm not exactly sure if they're going to put him mid, but if they put Leshrac, probably going to die a lot if they do. So I see that lane going very poorly for them, and the other lanes, it's not that favorable for Power Rangers.
All right, well, the fans have spoken. They give Alliance the 75 to 25% advantage. But hey, that's been the story of Power Rangers' life as a team. This team is a perpetual underdog, and with the
Giant
predictions,
slayers.
They are known for taking down the top dogs.
Raw Alchemist. It's a farming one.
We got to jump.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes.
All right, with that, this might be a level 1 Roche, and we're just going to go ahead and hand it off to the casters right away. AC, Cinderin, have fun.
I know you guys would love to hear LD continue to cast it, of course, but thanks to him and to Ben, of course, for leading us in. And this is going to be a chancy maneuver coming out from PR.
Alliance have no idea.
Yeah, no, I mean, why would they? Why would you expect this?
Loda actually pinged Roche.
Oh, did
I
he?
saw a yellow ping there, and they were probably like, there's no way. Their lineup can't do Roche level 1 or something like that. This is... Man,
working.
If Alliance tournament life is going to end because of the level 1 Roche, that's... Like, this is what happens when you're playing against a team that has...
Nothing
to
win. Nothing to lose. No, see, I see it the opposite. It's not that they have nothing to win. That's true as well. But they have nothing to lose. Why not come out and try something crazy? Why not come out and take a big risk? Because, hey, if it goes wrong, big deal. 20-minute GG. Try to ruin their day in the next game. There it goes. And I guarantee you, 5 players on the side of Alliance just had their heart sink out of their chest as PR puts the opening Aegis on the Leshrac. And they're at quite the little advantage.
Ouch. I can't remember ever seeing this before, that a team in a tournament is eliminated, but goes for a level 1 Roche and is ultimately in a pretty good amount of control already of the fate of another team. This is...
Well, as the lanes are taking shape here, it is the anticipated dual lane in mid, as it will be Loda and the IL. And right now, it's just Lesh. Looks like they're going to be abandoning here, and this is the problem we all knew there could be. He's very low on mana after that Roche fight as well. He still has the Aegis, so he's probably going to be fine to just suicide it soon and get a little regen after spending a little bit more time here. But how do you feel about this? I mean, obviously the level advantage is going to play a big part, but not just the mid lane, but what it means in terms of what they're going to be able to take and to give in the other lanes as well.
I don't know if the Aegis on Lesh is going to be enough for that mid lane. I think Alliance might be, even with these mid lane pulls that Ake is setting up for. I want to say, when it comes to staying, like, looking at it from a constructive way and being composed, I think Alliance know what kind of advantage a level 1 Roche gives. I think they know how to try and deal with it. Obviously, you're at a deficit in every single lane, so you try to play it a little bit passive. You're very cautious with trying to go for kills, since it could backfire very heavily. So we'll probably see them playing a bit safe, but Pycat might actually just be dead.
Got him.
That is the first blood for Cheshire Cat as well.
Well, PR off to a good start in more ways than one. They draw first blood on Roshan, and they draw the first actual blood on Pycat. Now they're going to be catching up with Lesh, though. Lesh still has the Aegis, so at best they can hope to pop it off of him. And I'm kind of surprised he's not just taking it and allowing, yeah, there you go. Instead of trying to, get himself back up to health any other way, it makes more sense to do that. So at the very least, the mid lane is going the way they want. Early CS, no surprise to see Loda near the top. The Alchemist is farming pretty well, though. He's number 2, sitting at 7 CS.
And Ake's going to get the rune. And this is always important when you're running Io tiny mid, is that Io needs to get these runes to keep the pressure up. Now, Sunlight can't play as aggressive as he would maybe like, and he is trying to do so, which will probably get him killed. Unless Spirit Breaker makes it here on time. The charge is coming from below. He might actually make it here. Okay, will get the shot off, but... Oh, okay, 17% to your face, and... 1 for 1.
Yep, it'll be a 1-for-1. Don't think that's going to be a trade that Alliance has any problem making. Loda actually eats a bash in the back trying to make his way back to lane, and any harassment that King can give right now is going to be beneficial. They've got help, of course, from Mad, so it's not as if this is going to be pursued out. There's a TP coming, and now they're going to try to turn it around. Here comes Lesh, though. Lesh using the lightning from the high ground. Let's see. Yes, he's going to charge right uphill. Going to catch up with Loda. There's going to be the toss on the sunlight. Not a lot of damage on that, though. Well shot, Split Earth. Is there going to be any kind of follow-up? In the meantime, by the way, somehow Weaver died. Didn't see it, as Pycat must have put the screws to him when he found out he was by himself. That's a very big kill for him, especially after giving up first blood.
Yeah, it's incredible that Pycat can find a solo kill against the Weaver.
Without power shot, by the way.
Yeah, this matchup is one where when Weaver gets ahead, it's very difficult for Windrunner to come back in the lane. You just keep running at her, you keep attacking her with Geminate attacks and just harassing her from a distance. What I imagine could have happened is that Weaver felt confident and tried to go for the tower dive and just assess the situation. Okay, in case he has a shackle shot on level 4 or level 1, I can probably just get out with Shukuchi, and maybe he took extra tower hits. Else it's very hard for me to imagine how this could possibly happen, but really important kill for Pycat.
There we go, another dive onto Sunlight. He's going to turn around, throw out the lightning. That's very low health on Loda.
Oh, there might be another lightning. He got him.
Oh,
Almost got a double.
that is...
Alliance needs to be really careful in this lane. It's so volatile when you give away the level 1 roach to Pycat. Okay, this is
dead. This is like
scary.
This is not going well. The mid lane at the very least was kind of the ray of shining light. Well, I guess we can anoint Bulldog with that now in more ways than one, as his Phoenix play seems to be quite solid. He's well leveled. He's actually as high leveled as Loda is at this point. There's a glimpse back though. If they can get him, and they will, easy kill. And was going to say his CS actually wasn't bad, but PR just making it happen in all lanes. What do they need to do, Syndron? How can they get out of this glutton? Granted, a lot of it has to do with the level 1 Roshan and the advantages that conferred, but you got to switch something up, don't you?
They have to find levels on supports and wait. It's pretty likely that they might be conceding a couple more kills, but if they can at least trade and not fall completely behind, they could be okay. Rubik needs 6, Wisp needs 6, and more than anything, I guess, actually, Phoenix needs 6. That's the big hero that can give them some sort of a grip on these skirmishes and team fights that are going to break out inevitably, as Cheshire Cat is going to be tossed back. Shackle cannot latch here.
There's going to be...
And it's going to be a trade.
Yep, ends up being a trade, 1 for 1. Don't think, again, the Alliance is going to have any issue making that trade as it is.
As long as they trade every time. Uh-oh, Greater Bash.
Oh,
good
Shackle.
Shackle.
Yep, and that's level 2 Shackle as well, so should be in quite fine shape. 3-7, PR in quite good shape after taking that level 1 Roshan. CS-wise, we can see Bulldog has fallen down a little bit. He's still doing decently well, given it's a 1-on-2 up there. Has been for pretty much the entirety of the game. The Alchemist, though, is getting all the farm he can ask for. He's got just about 30 CS at 5.5 minutes in. And what do you think the build we're going to see of Alchemist is going to look like?
Oh, it's definitely going to be Battle Fury first with the Quelling Blade build-up as well as the Perseverance. I'm imagining he will try to take it into a direction that focuses him on himself first. Look at that GPM, by the way. 700 minutes 6. It's ridiculous, this hero, how much farm it can get. I'm thinking Battle Fury into Kiras or BKB and then the other. And then focusing on just becoming a really, really heavy single target hitter. Just focusing out the Tiny or the Wisp every single fight. Maybe a mobility item. We could see a Shadow Blade or a Blink Dagger just to getting close and personal. And then Abyssal Blade to lock them down. Man, he is getting so rich. It's actually... Look at the net worth.
Yeah.
What?
Net worth quite...
That's absurd.
Yeah, wow. That's even more than I expected. You're talking of... How can you be 2,000 gold ahead of the next highest farmer, who, by the way, is on your team, at this stage of the game, 6.5 minutes in? We're going to see Cheshire Cat go for it. And he... Oh, very nice Shackle. That's going to buy some time. Here comes the TP. That's going to get a time lapse to get 1 out. And now King going to go ahead and charge his way out of trouble elsewise. So, big chance taken, but no blood on the... no blood, no foul, I suppose.
And that, yeah, was that 1 or 2 TPs? I think it might have been. That was 2 TPs, and they get nothing. Well, they saved their hero, so that's at least something. But PR are still the ones in the driver's seat. Alchemist, Phoenix can't stop him from farming with the deficit he's at from the start. And we're looking at what's probably going to be a 9-minute Battle Fury for the Alchemist at this rate. Doing a good job stacking the camps. Disruptor also stacking.
Disruptor's almost level 6 too, by the way.
Yeah, that is a really important level too. That's a great counter to obviously the IO Tiny in general, but can also be nice against every single of Alliance's heroes is actually really dependent on not getting caught like that. Bulldog.
Didn't even have to glimpse him. Like, PR is just flat out playing Alliance right now. I mean, level advantage off the level 1 Roche is certainly a part of it, but at this point, they're moving better, the decisions are better, they're taking risks, but they're getting themselves out of trouble. And Loda taking a stack, that's certainly going to help him a little bit. In fact, it gets him into second place in terms of overall CS, and I would imagine knocks him into second place in terms of overall net worth.
No.
Oh, God, not even close. Wow.
He is 5th.
That hurts.
He's second on his team.
Yeah.
Which is something. But it's hard. Now, the good news for Alliance is, of course, with the net worth lead that PR are getting, mid-game plays are going to be worth a hell of a lot because they're so far ahead of gold, and Alchemist is a hero who, as a core, has to play from ahead. If he has the same net worth as pretty much any other carry in Dota 2, he's just worse. So, he is the key kill. They're going to find him here. Lift as well as a Shackle follow-up should be enough. Did you raw? Is going to die. I want to see how much gold that gives.
It had, well, I mean, that was such an important kill for a number of reasons. Wow, look at that stack that he just ran into, BT Dubs. But yeah, that's 1,300 gold, and important for a number of reasons. One, that certainly is going to go a long way in catching you up from the deficits you find yourself in. Two, Bulldog's been struggling. Now he's going to have a little bit more room to breathe. But like you said, just getting Alchemist off the map for a little while, slowing him down, making him feel less safe and less invulnerable up in that top lane. Issue is now you freed up Cheshire Cat. He's completely uninhibited in bottom lane. He's pecking away at the tower. He's free farming away. So he's having a chance to make up for that death he gave up earlier on as well. And Pycat's really kind of the silent performer right now for Alliance. He got that solo kill, and he really he was a part of that gank. So they're really going to be asking a lot of him and needing a lot of him, I think, to try to cut this deficit down as we get closer to the 10-minute mark now.
Absolutely. I'm wondering which path he'll take with items if he thinks Ags is the build this game as well. Mid lane, charge. I think King R is going to stop. No, all right.
Thought better of it. 2 TPs coming in. King R in trouble. Telekinesis tossed and going to end up dying amidst a swarm of Alliance players.
It's going to cost them a tower.
Yep.
5 heroes mid for 1 kill on a Spirit Breaker, while the rest of PR are farming, especially Alchemist. I don't think that's a win for Alliance. Even though the graph says, or this recap says they gained 700, they lost 1,500.
Oh yeah, for sure. And yeah, like they're kind of like PR is spreading the map so well right now. They have 2 heroes that are so intensive on farm to really want to come online in the Alchemist and the Weaver. And the Alchemist they're protecting very, very adequately. I mean, we saw the 1 death, but for the most part you can't anticipate that all the time. And the Weaver is doing a good job of making up for a couple of early mistakes. So just keeping them in opposite lanes and forcing Alliance to overcommit to positions is freeing up one to the other all the time. And it is not going to be a 9-minute Battle Fury, but a 10-minute. Not bad at all.
He died. That's why. Else he would have had it at 9. Uh-oh. This Alchemist it is not out of the question that he could go 4-digit GPM. But for that to happen, they need to continue stacking. He needs to not get ganked, and he needs to contribute to a couple kills. We already see him on 700 now in minute 10. Could relocate out. Was used by
Cheshire Cat.
Pycat. Mega dead.
And mistimed on the split earth. Admiral Bulldog going to try to come out. There's going to be the relocate out of the tiny IO. There's the egg. They're going to peck away at it. Will they manage to get it? They will not. That's a huge overcommitment from Cheshire Cat in particular, but he's going to be able to scurry away. Sunlight, not so lucky. Trying to get a kill on Ake before he drops. Not so fortunate. Behind that, Cheshire Cat manages to track down the Phoenix, so at the very least putting good use of the time lapse. Now King R, nope, no latch on the shackle. Loda tosses him, but it's only straight up and not backwards, so no way to track him down behind the tier 1. So Alliance taking what shots they can.
Oh, speaking of shots, power shot is available.
No good turn around the corner from Cheshire Cat.
You would have lived to use stick as well as bottom. Yep. For PR to get a 1-for-1 there, I think they're going to be pretty happy. It was a 1-for-1, right? I think so.
Yeah.
All in all, that's how I remember it, at least.
Didn't they? Yeah, the IO got away.
Alchemist free farming. They didn't manage to destroy the supernova before it exploded and brought Phoenix back to full health and on a cooldown, but still, 1-for-1 in that situation. Definitely a good trade. They also get the top tier 1 Mad. As well as Pycat, we're looking for a smoke gang on Alk, expecting that he wanted to stick around and try to get the last hit on the tower. Not the case. Instead, he is farming his own jungle, and currently sitting on 9,000 gold, minute 12. See, this Battle Fury he got 2 minutes ago.
Oh yeah.
Since then, he has gained about 3,000 gold.
Just look at that.
How ridiculous
is the bonus gold? I mean,
Shadow Blade. 2 minutes of farm.
Yep, he farmed
Shadow
an
Blade.
entire Shadow Blade.
That's the mobility item I was expecting. Either that or a Blink somewhere in his build. I was thinking maybe he gets a Kiras or a BKB first and just really looks to fight, but you can also really play from ahead with a Battlefield build-up like this. And by the way, the new Mud Golems really benefiting Alchemist 2 in the jungle, getting a lot of extra gold out of these creeps splitting.
Another stack. Look at this big stack.
All right, I said 1,000. We're getting there. Up to 800.
He's going to continue to pile this on. It's only going to get worse and worse and worse. There you go, 800. His net worth right now is valued at more, and not just a little more. Sitting up, hang on, Cheshire Cat caught with an avalanche. He may be able to get away. Mad's not going to over pursue, but his net worth is valued at more by about 1,500 than the two top cores of Alliance combined. King R able to charge himself out of trouble.
Oh, man.
Oh, ooh, so close.
Close call by Pycat on the power shot.
Pycat's played well. He's not always getting the kills, but he's at least putting pressure on and trying to finish the play as best as he can. Look at this. The net worth, he's up to 11.5 at 13 minutes in. That is absurd.
Yeah, and we're focusing a lot on the Alchemist, but remember, he's not the only problem that Alliance are going to have in this game. Both the Weaver, never mind, Weaver died, but Weaver and Lesh are also getting farmed. So if you look at the stereotypical game where it's like, oh shit, we need to deal with a super farmed Alchemist mid-late game, he is not the only carry. Right. There are two other cores that can easily scale and take up the fight with Alliance. Even if we imagine Alchemist was a regular farmed hero right now, instead of having 11,000, I think Alliance could still have a hard time, so this is really worrying for them. They're going to need to find some sort of ganks. Tiny gets a blink. I 100% agree with Loda's decision here.
Oh yeah,
this is their way back into the game. Going Ags and farming, you're not winning the farming battle against Alk.
No, I completely agree with you. For that reason, as well as just look at what you're up against. You're up against the Weaver, and you mentioned this during the pregame. You have the ability, it was either you or Ben mentioned it, you have the ability to just blink on top of a Weaver and blow him up. And then you're talking about a Leshrac, another target that at least before he gets major items like Bloodstone, BKB, hang on, Sunlight, speaking of Leshrac, going to take a dip, it's going to be Kinetic Field, does not trap anyone. Now the egg's down, beautiful shot as well, not able to keep the egg up, however, and coming back in is Loda. He secures another kill, it's a 2 for 1, at least for right now, favoring Alliance. Shackle doesn't latch, bad angle from Pycat. If he'd hit that Shackle, maybe it looks different. Instead, buyback necessary out of Bulldog. There's going to be a toss, they go 1 for 1 again, so it ends up being a 3 for 3, but Bulldog did buy back. They're unable to finish off King R in the meantime. At least a decently even trade, and we can see with that, Loda has crawled back up and is now in second position in terms of overall net worth, which is where he needs to be.
Look at that, 3 for 3 trade with a buyback on Alliance, still 1,000 gold gain. That's the net worth discrepancy, and why a lot of teams are hesitant to pick Alchemist, because you do get ahead on gold. It's how the hero works, and you need to be very careful around the early portion of the mid game with how you take fights. The good news is he's got a Reaver after his last 20 seconds of farm. So
how silly is that?
He is going to be getting a heart, which this was not what I was expecting, but it actually makes a lot of sense. Instead of going into the BKB build or the Kiras build, just getting a lot of health up against Loda's Blink combo, against all the magic damage coming out from both the Phoenix as well as the Wind Ranger's power shot, he's probably going to be able to stay alive when this heart is completed in what would be probably 1 or 2 minutes. He's actually going to be borderline immortal.
Yeah, I mean, he's already looking that way. I mean, he went in the Roche, he's got some help, and they came in to try to do something. Cutesy just not going to work. His Alchemist is the one to snag the Aegis after, and Ake basically just got one shot is what it looked like. Had a little bit of help, of course. Here comes Bulldog swooping around, trying to do some damage as best as he can, and now they're going to end up catching out Cheshire Cat. That's an easy kill for Loda. Loda now caught amidst a lot of enemy faces, though, and now eating a lot of damage, too. Static Storm, Kinetic Field catches him. A kill on Loda will be huge, and they will secure it. Sunlight ends up denying himself or being denied. And now, let's see if they can follow it up. King R trying to make it out. He will be able to escape. And yeah, I mean, Alliance ends up giving up 3 for 2 that time. They did get the Weaver and they did get the Leshrac. But at the same time, look at PR. Dirty Raw, right back to work. Just going completely on, continuing to go berserk in terms of GPM, and like you said, it's slow and sure, but it's steady. 850 GPM for him now, and we see Loda tried to come in, but he was just a little late here on the replay.
Yeah, the good news for Alliance is Phoenix did get the kill on the Leshrac, so there's some gold going the way of Bulldog. He could actually buy Midas in a moment if he desires. I'm not sure if that's the call this time, as we, well, of course, let's see the fight recap first. I'm talking about stuff that we aren't even seeing right now. Ultimate going to be used by Spirit Breaker. We'll see the dive coming in from Bulldog in just a moment, I do believe, from down here.
Yep.
Where he is able to going to be... No, he's actually waiting for his Supernova cooldown to be available. There we go. He's going to get Sunlight on the right-hand side and looking for King R as well, who tries to earn. It's going to get cancelled immediately, but he outruns it, and now TP's in here.
Yeah, I saw something for some reason that made me think that, and it made no sense at the time, that Leshrac had been denied. Like, the thing popped up, but certainly that made no sense. So regardless, it was a kill that ended up being tallied. And Alliance sitting at 13-17 and really beginning to fall, beginning to feel rather weak. And, you know, having picked up the Blink Dagger and gone that build up, hang on, there's going to be a catch on Sunlight. Sunlight should be blown up and Phil behind that. There's a follow-up. Okay, oh, beautiful Static Storm kinetic build. Once again, they've caged the monster as Loda takes his second death in just about the same number of minutes. They managed to get Cheshire Cat on the backside of things. Now there's going to be a glimpse back, and Pycat going to be trapped inside the kinetic field as well. Beautifully shot Split Earth, though. And that was actually Rubik shooting that Split Earth. Not so hard to hit him whenever you don't have that big delay.
They can't kill it, Gerard. They need to get the hell out of there. He's regenning too much right now. They're looking for J4, though. This is probably going to cost Ake his life again.
Yeah, again.
After he brought back, maybe not. Maybe they do have the damage. I could be wrong here. Dropping the sentry, but he is safe. He's looking for a re-engage. Ake has tether. Nice play.
Going to continue to try to run. That ends up being 4 down on the side of PR, 4 for 3, but it did take a buyback out of Ake. So it is a gold change in favor of Alliance, not surprisingly. XP went their way as well. But, I mean, look at this. He's still continuing to double up the value of Tiny right now in terms of net worth. He's actually getting close to 900 GPM. Like, we are about to see a 1,000 GPM in a professional game at 20 minutes. Like, that's really what it's looking like here.
He could be setting a record this game if it continues like this with his only 1 death. Would be, first of all, a really interesting story no matter how you look at it if this does work out for PR. They, unfortunately, as we talked about in the pregame, they don't actually gain anything from winning this game apart from, you know, style points, fame, and of course a lot of credit for running something like this, but Alliance, they really need to deal with this Alchemist somehow. They know that in the long run they probably can shut him down, but the way they need to itemize against the Alchemist, the question is, are those items going to be good against Weaver and Lesh too? Because you solved that problem, what about the others? The Weaver needs to be dealt with stuns and silences. They have telekinesis, which is great. And the Windrunner is going physical damage. Nice shackle by Pycat. Actually, gonna find him here. Probably not gonna be able to bring him down though, as time lapse is available. He's tanking up a bit first, and then Chikuching out to the right. No relocate used by Ake.
Well, the tier 2 in the meantime is taking some damage. Let's see if Alliance can do anything with it. Wow, 21 kills in the first 8 minutes on the other stream. We got a few kills on the way right now as Loda once again did not get caught inside of that Static Storm this time, but ate a lot of damage. He's going to turn back around and try to get something done, but he dies instead. Now Dirty Raw eating some damage, may end up dropping, but he's not going to mind even if he does. He's got his Aegis, and that'll just regen him and make him ready to go to fight once more. And yeah, they still just can't bring him down. Now there's the charge. Pycat, who has played well to this point, hanging around way too long. Aegis will end up dropping, but auto attack, no!
Earn, this is close, he will.
Oh, one of the last
and they glimpse Ake too!
There's a tether to get him back to safety, but PR is absolutely on the warpath, and this has got to be heart-wrenching for Alliance. Again, if they lose this match, their hope for making it through to the next phase, to making it to TI is done. PR going with something different, and at 21 minutes, we have a nigh on 19,000 net worth Alchemist. They were sieging high ground. They're going to back off and reset just to stay safe, but my word, what a game this has been already.
Yeah, these fights are really chaotic. I think Alliance they're fighting with everything they've got, but they are really far behind already. And the issue they have, the way you usually want to play a Tiny around these mid-game fights is you want to have him charge in. You want to have him take damage and deal damage, but he can't take all this damage that they have right now. Even with the overcharge from the Wisp, the problem is he's fighting against another melee hero that just beats him down and doesn't care.
Yep.
And even has an Aegis to boot, so at the very least here for Alliance, they do manage to grab the kill on the Alchemist and get the Aegis out of the way, but I think that was not too far from expiring anyway. It actually would have expired shortly after, I do believe, as it's going to be respawning already in 3 minutes, the Roshan. Bottom lane, Cheshire Cat. As we get out of the replay, Alliance will find that kill with the Wind Ranger. Dropping a sentry, fucking Mad opens it. There's a glimpse though.
And glimpse back, that's going to be Pycat brought back. Fucking Mad charge out. He's going to be brought down immediately. Now going to work on Bulldog's egg. Goodbye, doggy. And
Alchemist is so good against the Supernova.
this is so silly. Like, the amount of damage that Alchemist is doing and relative to
Oh, he
how
got the
little-
glimpse on the edge.
Beautiful play. That's 4 down once again. It is now 27-19. And Alchemist with a net worth of 21,500 hasn't eclipsed that 1K gold mark, so we're all sad about that. But again, this is Alliance's TI5 hopes, the team, the core of Loda and Ake, and Admiral Bulldog, of course, that one TI in 2013, potentially not going back into Seattle unless they get a miracle right here and right now. They're running out of time, Syndrome.
Yeah, we are entering miracle territory. They're almost 20,000 gold behind at minute 23, which I can't remember how many comebacks I've seen where a team is behind 1,000 gold per minute, but it's got to be really, really few, like 1% of games. So Alliance need to basically make a Cinderella story is what they're going to need in this game to turn it around. And I'm just not seeing their hopes right now. The problem is this Supernova, Alchemist is a really good counter, Weaver is a good counter, and both of them have the farm they need. Even though Weaver is not up very high because of the deaths, he's been a distraction, basically. Alchemist has been left to his own devices, and I want to see this 1,000 GPM. I think we're almost there. He just cleared an Alliance Ancient camp. Not even those are outside of his reach, as Kiras is complete, as well as another 2,400 gold.
And Roche is back up in 10 seconds, and there's literally no way Alliance can contest that. Like, there's just no way they're going to be able to take a fight right now.
I think I might have to try. This could be a good shackle shot for Pycat. They stole Concoction by Cheshire Cat, blown up. And another kill going Alliance's way. Can they get collateral, though? They've taken one tier 1 in 24 minutes. Haven't really been able to play aggressively at all against this PR lineup.
That's a 1,600 gold swing off of that lone kill, by the way. That's gigantic.
This is what you're looking at with this kind of deficit, and why PR still need to keep their calm and play this wisely, but Alchemist is going to get an Aghanim Scepter. I wonder who he's going to give it to. He could just give this to the Disruptor, which would be
That's a right call.
pretty much insane. I think he's picking it up now. Let's see what the call is. Disruptor or the Leshrac, who also has a Bloodstone and will be very tanky with that. He's thinking about it for now, it looks like, as he is going for Roche. And I'm wondering, this Alchemist in this game, he's going to be maxed out fairly soon, at minute 25, with these Axe spying. He just wants to give the Axe to Roshan. So
Roche and having a little fun with us.
for sure, that's the plan here for Nichiran.
And just want to point out, I tried to fit it in at the beginning of that last fight. Apparently, what's going on the other stream is just as nuts as what we're seeing, just in a completely different way. As apparently there was something like 20-some-odd kills in 8 minutes or something ridiculous. So 21-15 in what? It's a game that's probably been going for what? 12 minutes now? Maybe 14, 15 minutes. So no professional team after 6.80 has lost when I had 20k gold in 25 minutes.
All right,
Not
Alliance,
one.
it's time to write history here.
They're gonna. I mean,
They're writing history no matter what,
yeah.
but they want the right story for themselves.
Yeah, they want a happy ending and not an ending. Yeah, I'm just watching this take place. I mean, you as much, even more than me can like. This is a team that, like you said, has nothing to play for other than pride, other than just wanting to put on a show, get some notoriety, and go out with a bang. And PR has 100%, without a doubt, accomplished that fact in Alliance. I mean, just how much the hearts have to be sinking of these players right now. It's just hard to imagine. They are trying to backdoor. Top is actually going to be a charge, and the charge is still on. That's going to be onto poor Ake.
Yeah, he is in trouble. He might have to use a perfect time in Ghost Scepter here. Will not manage, I think.
Oh, he got bashed.
Extra bash. He is dead.
Yep. Ulting.
Trying to relocate even, so that's on cooldown. He's down for 50. No buyback. And by the way, Alchemist gave the Aghanim Scepter to Weaver. I'm not sure if you said that, but
No, I didn't
that
know
means
that.
Alchemist now, he can go in and tank. He can take 2,600 damage, then just get time-lapse back by Cheshire Cat to full health. They cannot deal with this Alchemist whatsoever, and they might not even have noticed. That's the worst part.
Yep.
Cheshire Cat has high stats. They're trying to deal some good damage now.
There
There's
it
the
is.
time-lapse.
Oh, they got Pycat. Pycat caught in the static storm in the kinetic field. Down goes the tier 3. Loda's being charged. He doesn't have any idea what a Bucky Mad got. He actually got the acid. Not bad. There's a big toss. Throws Sunlight into range. That's going to end up getting him killed, unfortunately. And PR just chasing them back to the fountain. There's going to be a Shiva's
Good toss by Loda.
Let's see, can they follow it up? Cheshire Cat eating the last little bit of damage from the Sunray there. Oh, beautiful shackle shot. There's going to give him at least one, if not two. It will be two. And now there's going to be the telekinesis from the Rubik. Can Alliance turn this around and punish the overly aggressive play? Aegis is down. Can they bring him down when he pops back up? Let's find out. Round 2, as there's the toss to lead it off, and yeah, without his ulti, he's not that scary anymore. Somehow Alliance digs deep, extends this game, and keeps their TI5 hopes alive.
That was basically the only possible way PR lose this fight. They go in really aggressively for the dive here. Loda with this toss onto Sunlight prompts the counter engage from PR, and now Alchemist is in the middle of nowhere. Sunlight is dying here. What you want to do there as PR is you just want to hit the barracks and just get the building damage in with the Alchemist and everyone standing behind, but they got greedy. And now even another kill, while we're still watching the replay, Alliance managed to grab a kill on the Lecrack top with a relocate as well as the Rubik. This is not over yet.
Yeah, 4 down, including an Aegis, absolutely not over. And you can see that's a 5,800 gold swing. As we are going to have a very brief pause. And looks like they have to resolve a mouse issue. So Alliance needed a miracle. I won't call that quite a miracle, but it was at least a little mana. A little mana from on high. As this has put the game back from 28 minutes and out of range to 28 minutes and manageable. And, you know, more importantly, Loda was around for all of that. He didn't die. He was able to get credit for it. A lot of that gold is going to be loaded up on the M, and he's going to be able to continue his itemization. And honestly, it just feels like PR
they're going to glimpse
overstepped
Ake.
themselves.
He's in the middle of nowhere.
Up charge on Loda as well. They really want to commit to this disruptor. Ends up just being blown up. And there's the charge. They're going to go right on the Ake to secure that kill. And certainly Loda might want to rethink moving back out. Nope, never mind. Bulldog there using the swoop and Shivas. And this is going to be another kill for them. Oh, actually, no. Beautifully played, but is it enough? Don't think so. King R tries to charge at the last minute. Not going to work. Cheshire Cat has to scurry away as Bulldog allows the egg to complete. And PR, honestly, is kind of coming apart all of a sudden. I mean, look at the net worth, how much it has closed. There was a point where if you added Loda and Pycat together, they did not equal the net worth of the Alchemist. And now Loda, while still significantly behind, given it is an Alchemist who had the start that he did, it's much more reasonable. He's only about one big item behind now.
This is definitely still manageable with those kills they just found.
Yep.
And the question is if they can contest the next Roshan, because I think PR will not be making that mistake again with how they siege the base. The next time around, they will be sieging the buildings instead of trying to push in for the heroes and just position themselves wiser. What their lineup could just do is send Alchemist, hit racks. When they try to blink toss him away, you let him tank damage, you time-lapse him with Weaver, and then you go again. And then abilities are on cooldown. If you start feeling uncertain about it, you just reset and re-go a bit later.
Well, for the moment, speaking of reset, looks like that's what everybody wants to do. Lotus Farm is now significant enough that he not only poses a threat to the Alchemist, the split push threat is absolutely real. He's got the Assault Cuirass, he's had his Scepter, of course, and that Blink Dagger for a long time now. And this is where Alliance can excel and has excelled in the past, is being able to take situations like this and just outmanage the opponent, outmanage that team by making good decisions in terms of when to split push, when to hide, when to seek, when to play the cat and mouse game. And they're going to be able to fall back on that experience now, but still, it is a torrential downpour of gold as Alchemist just continues to stack fat stacks and is going to be able to buy scepters for his team even if he wants to continue to do that. I mean, hell, he's got Boots of Travel already up. He's got his Treads, Shadow Blade, Assault Cuirass. If he sells his Treads and buys one more item, he's 6-slotted.
The question is what he's going to buy. I'm not sure if he's going to buy an item for himself. I think BKB would still be a solid choice. Alternatively, could look to Ward and Abyssal. Or if he buys another axe. If he gets an axe for the Lesh or Disruptor, could be powerful pickups, but not sure what the plan is right now. King R has a completed BKB, by the way. That is the Spirit Breaker. We'll be getting that soon. What an absolute tense moment this is right now.
Yeah. It is 31-19. We're getting updated, and the reason we keep breaking in with these updates as opposed to previously throughout the day is because obviously these two matches are going to decide who has a chance to go to TI, still has a chance to play through the qualifiers, and who doesn't. And apparently, 4 Anchors is beating on Nip 31-19 right now on the other stream. So hopefully you guys are keeping both of those open and watching, because it sounds like it's quite a show on both. They're going to try to siege high ground one more time. And this time, they're, as you said, Sin, it looks like they're going to be a little bit better equipped. And they do, very importantly, have a BKB up on the Spirit Breaker as well. So his ability to be a disruptive force is going to be even higher now. They're going to go ahead and send Dirty Raw on up. He does not have an Aegis this time, obviously. He is going to be shackled down. The damage is there. He's got his ulti active. They got to get in. They have to get into the fight. Now he's going to be able to turn around and try to close this one out. There's Bulldog behind the fight using the egg. Okay, though, just chopped down to pieces. Can they get it? They don't.
Oh, he just got off.
Last second. Doesn't matter, though. There's no follow-up, so PR still in control of their own destiny. What was stolen there was actually the Thunder Strike, so not the best ability. Maybe wanted something a little bit better for managing AoE. There's going to be the Static Storm, speaking of AoE, and now yet another time lapse to get someone out of trouble. Loda ends up dropping as well, and he's down, now buys back. Mad is going to end up way overextended. Here comes Bulldog swooping
good
through.
shackle.
Wonderful shackle on a Pycat. He's got the damage and brings down Sunlight. Do they want to continue to fight this out? There's an unstable concoction ready and charged. Bulldog's going to be caught with it. There's the charge uphill as well, and Loda can't find a target. Loda trying to get on top of him. King Arch
Oh, he
alone
can't
the
afford to die
damage.
right now.
And Loda's out by himself. Kinetic field is there. He's oh, he's gone. That's Loda down, and that's a tieback. That's going to be at least one set of racks, and they're going to get Pycat as well.
No buyback either.
Pycat doesn't have buyback for another 40 seconds. That's one set of racks. Are we watching Alliance's TI5 hopes go up in flames right this second?
PR played that so much better than the last push. This is really what they needed to do. The time lapses from Cheshire Cat saving first the Alchemist, then the Disruptor, the way they engage, the way they move around the fight, finding the targets, forcing Loda to engage into a situation he really doesn't want to be in, but he can't just sit back and watch as their buildings and his allies get killed off. As Bulldog, he does also not have a buyback. He's getting glimpsed back in. No ulti either. He's down for 80 as well. 40 seconds. There is, however, a tier 2 tower top, so PR cannot mega them just yet, but this is about as close as you get to winning a game.
Let's go over the recap of this replay here. We can see that was such a great shackle to lead it, and Dirty Raw unfortunately time-lapsed, and that's gotta hurt so much for Alliance. It's been killing them. That happened a number of times in this sequence. Loda gets out for a minute, then we see Ake just blown to pieces, and everything from this point on just fell apart.
Look at that. That was so close.
Yep, that right there looked like it was going to be the moment when maybe they could turn it, but there was just no one in position to reset and re-engage, and then it just continued to drag on from here. Loda comes out, and this is pre-buyback for him, so caught with a Static Storm, and right there again, able to get himself back to safety. Loda dies, and then the follow-up and the follow-through, and just to build on your point, PR before just kind of death charged straight to the fountain and got themselves killed. This time they were patient, they waited. Another good shackle, by the way. Pycat has been playing great this game, regardless of win or loss. But, I mean, the patience was just so there for PR this time. And then Loda tried to come forward. He blinked and he got caught with the charge on the way. Wound up on the wrong side of the fight, and just the damage output, the kinetic field being on point.
And the third time lapse there as well on
So
the breaker.
good.
Well, it is a cute and gimmicky strat. I'm wondering why...
Would you call this gimmicky, though? There's so many moving pieces. At some point, it becomes a little more complex.
You're running an Alchemist that no one picks. You're giving an axe to a Weaver that no one gets on that hero. That's kind of gimmicky. And 1000 GPM, by the way, has been broken by Alchemist by now. This makes me wonder, if this was a strategy that PR had prepared going into this tournament, why the hell did they save it until now? And we got news. 4 anchors beat NiP in game number 1.
Right. Which, it's kind of, I don't know how relevant that's going to be. Hang on, we got a big engagement. Loda's way out front. Bulldog is going to manage to get the Supernova off completely. No, they didn't actually, he didn't get it off. It looked like it was going to be another one of those moments like we saw at bottom, where it's going to be by the skin of his teeth just in that last little tick. Unfortunately for Alliance, 3 more are down. None are down on the side of PR. Another good shackle, too little, too late. That's a triple kill for Cheshire Cat. And the only reason Rubik's still alive is because he managed to swipe Shikuchi, and they're going to continue to chase him down. But I think this is it, man. I don't know what they can do.
I just got a thought. Are PR doing this for compendium predictions? They got a Roche before minute 0. They got the highest GPM in the compendium predictions as well. People's compendiums as well. Like, maybe they're just doing it. I mean,
if so, that's the best thing ever.
There are so many style points to be won here, but I actually feel like the strategy they're showing in this game is super good. And I was talking to Hani about this today, a couple hours ago, how Alchemist could absolutely work right now, but it's not being utilized by anyone in the farming role because you're scared of giving back the gold and not having an impact. PR showcasing, if you leave a safe lane Alchemist to just free farm, they also got the level 1 Roche. We can't take that out of the equation. It is important.
Oh, it's huge.
If you leave an Alchemist like that to free farm, you need to have a solution for that kind of problem. And I think, in hindsight, Alliance, they made the wrong lane call. They need to deal with this Alchemist. They should have probably run maybe an aggressive tri lane. I don't know, IO Rubik Tiny or IO Rubik Windranger, and maybe just played Tiny solo mid up against the Leshrac, which would have been a very difficult lane, but anything is better than letting an Alchemist reach 1,000 gold per minute.
I can't help but think back right as the match started. We saw them sneak into the Roche pit. You said you saw Loda ping the Roche pit. Just think. We know these guys, and I can't, I have no rooting interest as far as who wins or who doesn't, just because I just like to see good Dota.